Welcome, Avril Cornwall. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Beautiful. Well, we're talking to Avril today. She is a transformational coach and she will be joining us at the first event on the 16th of June at the Southport Community Centre, a part of WEFest. So we're very excited to have you with us.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day.
I do too. I do too. So, what drew you in? I always like to give the information to the audience. What actually brought you into being a part of this women's empowerment events and festival?
Well, I met you at another event and you were very well, for all you weren't the host or that, but you were all very welcoming and introducing yourself and sort of checking in with people, which was very comfortable. And then when you shared your event and it's about women and empowering women, that's part of my why. So it just sort of sat with me. And because I'm in the startup phase of my business and I need to get out there and get known so I can transition into my business full time, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to introduce myself to ladies.
Beautiful. Oh, I love that. I didn't know any of this. This is great. Amazing. So, for the attendees that are
Mhm.
starting to get a taste of all of the ladies that they're meeting with all
Mhm.
of our online interviews, what will you actually be delivering? What's a little taste test that you can show with the audience today?
What I'm planning to deliver is a little bit of a workshop on nourishing and depleting energies and finding balance in life. Because as a transformational coach, I work with people to reach to attain success by reaching for their goals and out of their comfort zone. But while we do that, we often are multitasking in life. We're busy. There's demands of email, social media. We can't escape it with smartphones and technology. And so we need to find that bit of balance. And so many of us are just exhausted and we're running on an empty glass instead of at least half full, if not full. And how can we give back to our families, our partners, loved ones, if we're not, nourishing ourselves and replenishing what's depleting us? And I have been guilty of not doing that for years. So I come from a place of experience. And I think as women, as mothers, as carers of parents, of partners, a lot of that falls to us. So we need to nourish ourselves. And from what I've seen on the promotion for WeFest, that will be a day to nourish.
Most definitely, most definitely. And that is one of the biggest elements, if not our foundational element, for us to be able to acknowledge what we need, how we may be depleted, what we need to be providing for ourselves, or what support we can allow in. None of us are very good at that. None of us have actually been taught how to look after ourselves. So this has come up quite a bit in a lot of the interviews with the ladies, that we've come to burnout too many times. This is how we've started to find our alternatives. And this is what this event as well is all about, is bringing ourselves back to us, back to what we actually need. Like you said, we're juggling so many things. We have so many demands from ourselves, from society, from our family, and it just adds on and adds on until something breaks. And that's when we start our journey, when we've actually received that breakdown. And now we're finding all those different ways of how do we support ourselves? Is it okay to seemingly be selfish and rest sometimes? It's a huge journey. So I would love to hear, is there anything that's been so paramount in your life that has brought you on this journey for you to obviously want to be of service and to help others as well?
Well, I was introduced into coaching about 10 years ago at work, in my paid job, and that was about as a manager and leader, coaching for performance that way. And I've just slowly integrated that into my leadership practice and gone through that. And then when I hit about just around roughly about 40, in my mid-40s, I discovered my daughter suddenly didn't need me to run her to Brisbane every night or every 2-3 times a week for sport, different things. There was a gap in my life. And I looked at direct sales back then, but I'm no good at sales, but they have great emotional intelligence. So I survived. I suppose I survived my paid job by their emotional intelligence. Then a few years ago, all my friends were posting on social media that we were in our late 50s. We're going to retirement. I can't afford to retire, but I don't want to work in my paid job. I want time with my grandchildren. I want freedom. I'm carer for my husband, who has some health issues. I would love to support my daughter more because she's got two children on the autistic spectrum, both high functioning, but what used to be called, I suppose, Asperger's. And so she has a lot on her plate because her husband's fly in, fly out. I don't have time to run to Brisbane if there's a crisis or if there's something happening, or she could just do with a bit of a break. So I became involved with a group in the UK who were doing some self-coaching online, and then I got hooked, and then I trained as a coach, and that's where I'm going. And I struggled with my niche for a while there, but I think my niche is really coming through as probably women midlife time. It doesn't have to be. It can be younger, it can be older, but that time where in the profession I work, a lot of people sort of travel along the same level, don't do any study, don't try and go for promotionals because till their kids are older, and then they feel young people they're getting left behind. People are coming ahead, they're doing things, I can do that, I've got the experience. But you haven't done the course, or you haven't done this. So they're feeling left behind, and I've done quite a bit of coaching on how do they move forward, how do they do this. So why do it for somebody else and not myself? So that's my aim, is to build my business. I'm not going to exclude other people that want coaching if we connect. And for me, coaching, it doesn't matter if somebody meets my niche. If they can't connect with me and me with them, and when we're not aligned, yes, I can coach them, but they won't benefit if they don't feel that connection the same. So that's hopefully my way forward, and I'm excited, and I think WEFest is a time to promote myself and let people know I'm around.
Perfect. So perfect. Oh, the gold that I'm hearing by Emily's stories. Oh, there's just so many elements. That's what I'm really pinpointing, that we know our story. When we start to talk about it, sometimes we really get more of an idea of these elements led to where I am now. But the people listening, you've just reached a very big audience, because everything you said reaches a certain type of person, certain type of people going through that loss of identity. To me right now, the biggest opening for all individuals, humans, women, especially the women that have the children, the empty nest, once the children have left, that to me is the women with this space, this time, and now they're looking. What do I do with my life? How can I be more of support? Whether it's working, not working, starting a business, or like you said, wanting just to support your family more so. I find that there's the grandmothers out there that are just looking. What can I do with my life now? It depends where they're at in their stages, obviously with partners and other children. But really, that to me is such a big opening. With every event I go to, I see that element really, really out there. So for your conversation to say you've experienced that, what do I do with myself now? And actually turn and look within and do some work for yourself. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful example and a real leader for other women that might not know where to turn. And you've been able to give them a few pointers already of just what you've done for yourself. So obviously others can actually have a really good chat to you and ask you more questions on the day. But that to me is exactly what everyone's going through. And even if it isn't the empty nest, it is the loss of identity that everyone is coming through to. Would you believe?
Yeah, I mean, I struggled with that way back when my son, nearly 32 years ago, when my son was born, because I work in the health industry, so I had a career, and then all of a sudden I was around people. I was my husband's wife, my son's mother. And I mean, I went back to work 2 days a week, and somebody said to me, "You're obviously missing your kids when you're at work. Why are you here?" And I said, "Because this is me time." And I have needed all through my career. I mean, I haven't really, other than maternity leave, I haven't really had a break in my career. And because I've needed that to be me. And so many women I mean, I see it in my daughter. She's a stay-at-home mum. Her husband flies in, has a sort of fly-in, fly-out job. Not in the mines, but in civil construction. And she's her kid's mum or his wife. And I can see her struggling with her identity. And we all do at some point, and I think we need to have something to be us, whether it's at the gym, whether it's out with the girls. A lot of women turn to direct sales to do that, but just something that says who I am, and I have an opinion. I know what I'm doing. I can speak up. But we put our lives on hold, which is built into us and culturally. And I think there is some of that nurturing that's women have, that we put everything on hold for the rest of the other people in our lives.
Totally.
And we need to pull some of that back sometimes, just to fill our glass up.
Exactly, because we aren't actually able to truly be there for our children, our partner, our clients, how we actually desire it to be. If we're not full first, it actually just doesn't work. But we've got this thing in our head that will keep saying, no, kids need me, no, partner needs me, no, everyone else needs me, I'm okay, I can get over it and just help them. But you're actually not being of service. You're not being the fullest capacity that you can be if you're not looked after first. And it doesn't actually take a grand pamper day and retreats all the time. We don't actually need any of that. All we ever need is just those moments where it's, okay, what do I need for myself right now? Sometimes I'm just hungry. Sometimes I'm just thirsty. Sometimes it's the simplest things that we're ignoring to look after everybody else that banks up and banks up and banks up. Would you agree?
I would agree fully. And I actually, somebody I did coaching with shared an article with me a while ago. And the article actually said, if you say to a guy, you need a day at the golf, you need to have a break, you need to recharge, they'll go off, and their brain is wired, neuroscience has found their brain is wired to say, yeah, I need this time, I need to do it. Whereas if you say to a woman, here's a day at the spa, here's a whatever, have some time off, what we actually do is we lie there and say, now I could have spent that money on a new school uniform, I could have bought shoes for the kids, I could have taken the kids to the movies, or I could have paid for the sport. We'll lie there and think of everything we could have done, either with the time or the money, because of the way our brains are wired. And so I hope the ladies that are coming can take 5 minutes with whatever workshop they're doing to actually try and don't say that, and enjoy and refill, because they need to, what they're going to give back to their families by refilling their glass is 10 times more than all the things they were thinking of.
Exactly.
If they can be present with the family when they go back because they're full rather than thinking of everything else, they're going to give their family back, their partner, their kids, whoever, their parents, so much more by doing this.
Exactly. And the partners normally are like, go do more.
Yeah.
I like you when you come back from these days.
Yes.
Here's the money. Do whatever you need to do.
Just don't, but don't beat yourself up for doing it. Fill up your glass, because we're no use to them if we have an empty glass.
Exactly.
And that's experience talking.
Yeah, exactly. And it is easy for us to say that now that we have that learning knowledge, we're doing it, we still fall off the rails and we catch ourselves. But for those that are deeply embedded in their own guilt, let's just finalize. What could we even say to the potential attendees, the people that are interested in WeFest, the ladies that are watching? How can we support them in a way that their guilt is overriding their shame, their fears? What is that head stuff that we can even have a chat about of what's helped you personally? How do they move through that? How do they actually say, no, I need this enough before it gets to a major breakdown, before there's a major health concern where they need to get on that journey? Is there anything that you could share that can help them just get that one step over?
Well, one of my mentors, and I met her through a self-coaching course that she ran online, and now she was one of my coaching mentors, and I actually contribute. She asks me to contribute to one of her sites. But what she always says is, notice what you notice. So ladies, while you're there and you're attending a workshop, notice those feelings that flow through you. Notice at the end of the day, the rejuvenation. Notice, if there's a thought flows through your mind, oh, now I've got to remember and pack such and such for school on Monday, label it and let it rest. Just say, yes, it's there, I'll remember, and let it rest. And then be present. Notice what you're noticing about the way you feel, the energy that you're feeling. If you came in with low energy and you're leaving with high energy, I know when I have a massage, I go in really tight, and I'm told I respond really well to massage, because within 5 minutes I'm letting go. So I've noticed, notice what you notice. If you journal, go home and journal. Make some time, journal what you're feeling. Then if you have to go back and say, well, what was that? A while, when you reread it, it's only for you. And this is for you. So notice what you're noticing, embrace it, and take the energy with you and give it back to your family.
Beautiful. Good final point. Got all the feels going on. I love that. I was like, yeah.
No, I mean, Michelle says to us all the time, like in our training and different things, notice what you notice. And at first I sort of went, but now I'm having a mindful moment on a walk or something. I stop and watch the birds or whatever. I notice how it's making me feel. I notice, the sunrise, the sunset, instead of, last night I left work, my paid job, and I walked out and there was the most beautiful sunset. Okay, there was a crane blocking my view when I took the photo on the skyline. But maybe years ago I would have, oh yeah, I know. I had to stop, take a photo and look at the beautiful colour. So
beautiful, isn't it?
Take the time.
It's so simple.
And that was nourishing.
I love it. I love it.
10 seconds of nourishment.
Perfect. And we're here to simplify it, and that's what we're really delivering on the day. That's why it's all experiences. That's why we've got workshops and stalls that are offering tools and techniques that you can be feeling, experiencing on the day. So you have those feel the feelings, be present, notice what you notice with every person you come into contact with on the day, because for you to feel this moment and to actually get so much enjoyment out of nothing necessarily happening without any expectations, that's a full embodiment feeling. That is something that our human has rarely ever felt. So perfect advice. We all can be doing that right now. The moment that we have that's so present has the ability to feel us and fill us up the most, rather than thinking about the next hour, the next day. We have that potential to feel everything in a great way in this particular moment. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's really, really important.
It's good.
Perfect. Well, if anyone wants to reach out to you, I will add your links, because some people might not be able to attend the first event, but they really connect with you. They really want to talk to you, Avril. They want to know more about what you do, how you can support them. So we'll make sure all of your links and contact details are attached, so the ladies can reach out. Otherwise, they'll get a beautiful connection with you on the day. Obviously, anything in person is so much greater. But this is why we're doing the online component as well. For the women that will need you and need your services, or just wanting to connect, they obviously can reach out to you as well now.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing everybody on the 16th of June, Southport Community Centre. Thank you again for your time, Avril.
Thank you.
And we will see everybody soon. Thank you.